fish fritters. Tuna fish and medium mature cheddar with mint, red onion, tomato, white pepper, egg, and some flour to bind. I just use what I had in my house. Could put like coriander, parsley, thyme, if you got that. It makes great sandwiches. Or it could be as a side with your dinner. You can make some type of sauce and just pour over it with some salad. Maybe some rice and peas. No, rice and mixed veg. Some avocado. Hmm. Fried, fried, fried. Mm-hmm. We don't do ashy elbows over here. And you know when people's elbows go black? See mine? It's getting dark. But some people it's just battered. This one's darker than this one. You see your butt cheeks when the butt cheeks go black? It's because you're sitting too much on like hard surfaces. See when you chill out like this, that's when it starts getting black. If you don't want your ass cheeks to go black, be mindful of the surfaces you're sitting on. I can show you my ass cheek, but I'll be doing too much. But yeah, stay away from rough surfaces, okay? Because that's what makes your butt cheeks go black, like right under you know? People don't notice. And when you lean up on things like this a lot, that's what makes your elbows go black. For me, I don't like how it looks. And your knees. Some men don't deserve to get you on your knees, okay? So if you know your knees are gonna go black, then you know the ones you won't get on your knees for. It's like, nigga, you're not worth it. Okay? Gotta make sure I look scrumptious everywhere, all the time. Because people be bleaching their butt cheeks and bleaching their this and bleaching their that. Pay attention to what you're doing with your body, and you'll know what to stay away from, so you don't have to be bleaching these things. Because what is the bleaching doing to you? I don't know. Could be something bad. I mean, it looks good when you get your skin back to that flawless color, but what is it doing? Do you want to find out? What badness is bleaching doing to you? Do you want to find out? Thank God for food. Food, glorious food. All right, my lovelies, welcome. Most High God, please block anybody trying to interfere with this reading and this video. Do step in and deliver your messages to we. You're trying to be lovely children. Okay? We thank you. All right, so there's method to the madness. If we pay attention, we will notice. What else does God want to tell us about that statement? And this is pertaining to, if you missed part one, I do recommend you watch part one. This is pertaining to like the negative things that this society has taught us. Okay, excuse me. A lot of the practices that we do, a lot of the habits that we have, a lot of the philosophies that we live by, we've been taught to be that way. And when we express ourselves in that way towards other people, towards ourselves, towards our environment, we see that it brings us results that we would prefer not to have. So that in itself lets us know this shit don't work. This is not good. I don't want this to happen again. So that should put us on a trajectory to do something different. Because if you keep doing what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. In order to have a different result, you have to do something different, right? So God was saying in part one that yes, they taught us a lot of bad things that we put into practice, but now we have lived to see the result of these things, and they're not good results. So the good thing is, the blessing in the curse is, now at least we know what not to do. Because we know if we do that, something like that is going to happen again. You know? So if you keep doing that thing that they taught you, that nonsense that Babylon taught you, you keep getting the nonsense results, then just take it like a big man or a big woman and shut the hell up. When you're ready to stop suffering yourself and those around you, you'll do something different. You'll behave differently. Okay? You'll try and make some sense out of life. You'll try and find your own philosophies that work for you rather than against you. Because these horrible philosophies is the reason why the whole system is so broken. Even in our personal lives. Because we're living by silly philosophies. Okay? We're making decisions based on philosophies that feel good in the moment, but the long-term results are catastrophic. For example, listening to all that gangster music and whatnot is getting into our children. They don't know any better. They go out and start to live like how these people on the radio or the TV or the YouTube or the streaming been telling them to live, and they end up with jail records. What, that shit's gonna follow them for the whole rest of their life. So what are we gonna do about that? It blocks them from so many opportunities because if you have a record, it makes it hard for you to get a job. And a lot of people don't have the drive to be self-employed, especially if they don't see their parents putting in the effort to become self-employed, and their parents aren't growing them with that mindset, with those teachings as they're growing up. So it's gonna be like too much work for them when once they get to a certain age. They don't want to hear about that. They don't want to hear about school. They don't want to hear about learning. They don't want to hear about them having to do all the work. Are you crazy? Nah. So you see, these kind of habits are things that we have to instill in our children from this small. I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 year olds. We start teaching them about money. We start teaching them about running a business. Play pretend with them. That's called programming. So you see, whatever your kids get exposed to, that's how they're gonna be programmed, and that's how they're gonna grow up. That's how that works. So we need to stop being so wishy-washy and like so liberal and so absent from what our children are taking in. We know better. So it's time for us to do our duty as parents, guardians. But you see, it's hard for us to give our children good values and morals and teachings when we ourselves are not practicing these things. So we got to start with self. What's your plans for 2044? Who do you want to become? Like for real, for real, for real. If you were to block out everything that society and the people around you who don't believe in you would have you believe, what do you want for your life? Who would you like to see yourself become in the future? Minus being infected by anybody else's negative view of you, negative opinions of you. Forget all the naysayers. If you could have your way, what would you go after? Whatever you choose, try going after it without breaking any spiritual laws. And you won't lose. God will back you up every step of the way. And even if you start off saying, let's say you decide you want to become a doctor, you come from the ghetto and they say, like, you're not supposed to become such a great thing. Who do you think you are? But you choose to believe in yourself because you got some natural skills that show you, I would do very well in that field. I like taking care of people. I like to actually heal people. I know a thing or two. It's like you're already like the village doctor, or you're the doctor among your people. When they're sick, they come to you. That show you you have that. Anything that people gravitate towards you for, any skills that people count on you to do, that's one of your gifts. Because they come to you because they know you're good at it. That's one of the paths that you should actually put more energy and effort into, because you're already good at it, because it's natural to you. Something that you love doing, people appreciate you doing it, even though they don't really show you no gratitude. Fuck all that. The fact that they come to you to do these things show you that they value it. You know how people be hateful. We're not gonna pay attention to that. We're gonna bypass all of that. But whatever people come to you for on a regular basis, that's a skill that you have, and it's going to be a marketable skill if you make it one. So, how do you make that a marketable skill? Stop giving away your skills for free. That is your money maker. Forget the fact that they're family and friends. They come to you for services or they come to you for goods. You should get paid. If you want to give them friends and family discount, fine. But this is a means that God has given you for you to be able to provide for yourself. Because even if there wasn't money around, it's something that you could actually trade. Why? Because it's valuable. Let's say you make great cakes. People always want you to bake their birthday cake because you're good at it, but you don't charge because it's your friend, because it's your family. Stop it. Recognize what you have. God didn't give you these things for you to do them for free. It took you time to learn that skill. It took you a lot of time to perfect that skill. Even if it's one cake you know how to do, bomb as fuck. You can start there. Start to market what you do. Start to work on being able to market what you do. You're going to have a lot of naysayers because as soon as people see you trying to rise up because they're not doing anything, they're going to hate you. Forget that. Stay prayed up. That's where you go to your God for that protection and that guidance. And God is going to give it to you because at least you're trying to do something that's going to bring you honest money. You're not trying to steal from anybody. You're using your natural talents. You're perfecting them and then you're marketing them. That's how you pass your class in the school of life. God will support you. If you're great at cooking food, it's time for you to start selling your food. Stop giving it away for free. And then you have to be begging people for money. People looking down on you. If you do makeup, it's time for you to start getting paid for doing people's makeup. If you do eyelashes, it's time for you to start getting paid for people to do for you to do people's eyelashes. They come to you because you're good at it. What makes you qualified is the fact that you're good at it. If you help people with their taxes when it's time for taxes, then that's the business you should be starting to go in. Because you understand this. You have the tolerance for it. Even if you don't want to stay in it, it's a means of income. It takes time and energy and effort to do the taxes and do them correctly. If you're great at electronics, if you set up people, if people buy their new phones and they're always coming to you to set up this and that and transfer this to that, that's a means for an income. Y'all need to start seeing what you have. If people keep coming to you, if you do hair, if there are people who support you, then you don't need to charge them because it's an even exchange. That's like a bartering service. But if there are people coming to you and you can't depend on them, but when they want whatever you do, they know how to find you, and then they don't do anything for you in return, those are leeches. Those are the people you charge. And see how fast they don't ever come back. That's fine. Buy a dolly head if you're a hairdresser so that you could keep up with your skills, but you're not doing it for people who don't deserve it anymore for free. People who don't support you, those are the people you charge. Stop playing with people. That will help you get rid of people who actually don't love you. Because it's like they've been coming at you for so long, wanting you to do this thing for them. And as soon as you ask them for something in return, they have a problem with it. You don't need them type of people in your life. Okay? Weed out your life by standing in your power, standing in your truth. You're good at it. That's the truth. That's why they keep coming back. They're not going to tell you, but the fact that they keep coming back, that should show you in the spiritual realm. See, this is how this is spiritual warfare. They're not going to say it with their mouth in the physical realm, but spiritually they keep coming back. So do the psychology. You know what they mean when they keep coming back. They were happy customers. That's not pain. Time to stop that. We got plans for 2044. Time to stop playing with everybody and everything that's not serving you. That's my advice to you. Because when 2044 come and y'all see me take off like a spaceship, don't be jealous of me, because y'all know what I be telling y'all is what I be doing. If I tell you to do it, it's because I've tried it and it worked for me. So if you need to tweak it a little bit so it worked for you, please use your discernment and tweak it so that it worked for you. But I'm giving you like the base formula. Stop playing with people. Stop playing with your talents and your gifts and your intelligence and your time and your energy. Get paid. Make trades. So they don't call you a beggar and a bum. Because they're not paying attention to when they're coming and using you for your skills and your time and whatnot, If you look after people, children on a regular, get paid for it. They leave them with you because they know they're safe with you. If they keep coming back over and over again asking you to babysit, it's because they know their children are in good hands with you. Because they wouldn't keep doing it if they didn't believe that they were in good hands. Unless there's somebody who just don't care about their children. Start getting paid for your skills. Pay attention. Every freaking thing that you do good is a skill. As small as you want to take it. As small as you might see it, it's a skill. If people keep coming to you for you to do it for them, start charging them if they don't do anything for you. Make money. And train your little children to start to make money. If you start training them to do something constructive, from there like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the older they get, the more they do it, the better they're gonna get. So by the time they're like 12, they could have their own business. They're professional because of what you invested your time and energy into teaching them. The best thing I see to do with your children, other than giving them whatever skills you might want to give them, pay attention to what they actually like. Get to know your children, the little ones. Get to know them for what they actually like to do. Pay attention to their movements, and whatever they actually be doing themselves, start to invest more time and energy in that. Yeah. Pay attention to them. By the time they're about like 2, 3, you will have had enough time to observe them and see what they actually like. Because what they like is who they are. Support them. Support who they are. Give them some other skills too, because it's good to have options. But do not try to discourage them from being who they are. That breeds resentment and hate and unhappiness and arguments. Even with the 3-year olds, you see how they behave when you tell them no. Make sure when you're telling your little ones no, it's because you actually need to tell them no. Don't just be saying no because you're too lazy or tired. Find a way to compromise if you're tired. Find a way to compromise with what they want to do and what you need to do. So you maintain that harmonious vibe between you and your child or children. Okay? So let's see. If you start to teach a 1-year old how to plait, it's going to look crazy at first, but they be paying attention and they be trying to get it right. By the time they're 3, they'll be expert. Keep it up. God is like, they'll be like high school quality. Yeah, by the time they're 3, they're going to be experts, bro. Very good. Probably not ready for business, but respectable. They'll be wowing people. Keep it up. God wanted to get in on this. So we got actress. Why? Because you need to start somewhere. They're going to be faking it, but eventually they're going to make it. Because like I said, if you start teaching them when they're 1, it's going to look real. That plot going to look real fucked up. That plot not going to make any sense, but keep doing it. Keep doing it. And watch. You're going to see that plot start to look up, make a whole lot of sense for a 3-year-old, for a 2-year-old. Keep it up. God said they'll be like high school. Good quality. Not quite ready for her own business or his own business. But yeah. At least he can take care of his or her own hair. And yours. Plait your hair so you can put on your wig. Yeah, man. Need to train our children to do things so that they can help us out. Stop treating them like they're invalids. We most of the time we treat our children like we have to do everything for them, and then all we let the children do is play, 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 play. So they can't do anything constructive. We need to stop training our children like that. Start to train your children how to wash dishes from they're like 1. Let them go up on the sink with the stool. Make sure they're safe. And they go play in the water at first. Get them their little tools. Even if you have to make some yourself. Make them their own little wash. Their own little dish. What do you call that? Sponge. Okay? Give them the easy things, not the knives. You don't get to wash the knives yet because that's another level. But for now, you can wash a cup. In fact, you can wash your dishes. You can wash your baby plate, your baby spoon, your baby fork or spork. At 1 year old, teach them how to do that. They're going to play at first. But don't make them feel like they just came up there to play. Because soon they'll be washing the actual dishes. If they got enough sense to use all them iPads, if they got enough sense to trick us when they want what they want, they got enough sense to do some other incredible shit. You could do some shit that we need to do as humans as well. So you can learn what it's like to do that we don't really want to do, but we need the right thing to do, welcome to life. And you could talk to your child, be straight up like that, because there are times when you don't want to do something, but as the mommy or the daddy, you have to do it because it's the responsible thing to do. And that's how you teach your children to be responsible. You don't just tell them to be responsible, you let them know, mommy and daddy don't really feel like doing that, but it's the right thing to do. Just like that, you're teaching your little one to understand responsibility. Be honest. Stop trying to play Superman and Superwoman for your children. You're giving them a wrong depiction of what the reality of life is. Sometimes we get to have fun and do what we want. We love those times, but sometimes duty calls. So when it's their turn to fulfill their duty, even though they don't want to, they'll already be programmed to accept sometimes duty calls. Have grown-up conversations with your children, because when you look at it, when you're a child, when you're just born, you're not going to stay that way. So at each stage of the child's development, you need to start to get them ready for the next stage of their life. So when they're a baby, you start to get them ready for a toddler. That's why we be holding them, even though they can't walk, we hold them and we give them that vibe so they can feel the walking when they're like 4 months, 5 months. We got them like standing on top of us and stuff like that, because you're getting them ready for toddler stage. It helps to get their legs stronger. When they're toddler, you get them ready for when they're at the children phase, when they need to be constructive in their mind and in their doing. So instead of allowing the child, when they reach toddler stage, to just think that life is all about playing, sometimes you call them and you sit them down. It's time to read a book. It's time to practice to write. It's time to learn your ABCs. It's time to learn your numbers. So by the time they get to the child phase, because toddler would be like between 1 and 2. So by the time they get to like 3, 4, 5, they're used to doing these things. It's not foreign to them. They know more than the iPads and the cell phones. They actually take time to do schooling with mommy and daddy. And even if it takes you 5-10 minutes out your day, sacrifice. That child is your responsibility to get them ready for life, for their next stage of life, their next phase of adulting, because that's where they're headed. So the less that we do with them to get them prepared for adulthood is the less prepared your child is going to be for adulthood. We do everything for them because they're just our prince and our princesses, thinking that that makes us a great mom or a great dad. That's not how it works. The best moms and dads are the ones who prepare their children and the ones who train their children up to become independent human beings. Independent. Train your child up in a way that they're not selfish, but they're not depending on other people. They don't watch other people's things. They're willing to put in that hard work and the time that it takes for them to have. And then you're going to have to teach them how to protect what they have. Because a lot of people are not teaching their children to be that way. So then that's where the leeches start coming around. To use them for what they have. Our children prepared for life. What y'all doing? Y'all need to take your responsibility seriously. If you're going to have children, all these things are necessary. This is why it's not good to have so many children at once, because then you can't really put in the kind of effort that it takes to cater to each one of them. Somebody's going to get left behind. And that child is going to grow up with resentment. It's a serious thing. It's not something to take lightly, because these children, they have feelings. That's why sometimes you got like a 9-year-old that's lashing out crazy. It's like, what was life like inside your house? Who did you grow up with and how were they treating you? What have you seen? What were you being exposed to that this is your behavior at 9 years old? And if they can be monsters at 9 years old, we can teach them to be mini gods and goddesses at 9 years old too. It's what you choose to expose your children to that's going to decide who they become. And even if you teach them the right and they end up doing the wrong, they're going to come back to the right, because when they see the results of that other life, they're going to remember where they came from. Just give them time. They're going to remember that they were doing better things than this shit, even if it take them several years to notice. That's why the Bible said, train up a child in the way that he or she should go, and they will never depart. It's good to baby your children, but they're not going to be babies forever, so you need to show them what being an adult is like as well. You need to start training them to be adults. Even we as adults, we want to be cuddled sometimes. We want to be babied and pampered sometimes. We want to be catered to. So you're right to baby your children. But also, duty calls. And we must answer if we want to create a better future. Because if we don't answer, when the future come, you neglected to do what you were supposed to do. So how you expect to reap the rewards if you didn't do what you were supposed to do, or you didn't do it properly? Like dishes. Duty calls, it's time to wash dishes. Whether it's the children or the adults, you go and wash the dish, but you don't wash the pots properly. Now you're ready to cook. You're looking at the dirty pot. You gotta go wash that shit again. Or the child go and wash their plate and didn't wash it properly. Now the plate is dry and the food is in their heart. It's time for their food, but they're looking at the plate like, ew, what's this on it? What's that? Yeah, you didn't wash it properly. That's what that is. That's your last meal. And they're gonna be like, ew, I don't like that. Good. So next time you wash it nicely, right? Right. So let's see. Okay. All right. So we got actor and forced to do it. Let's look at the underlying issue. They are not really like that. Yeah, that's not the way. Exactly. Look, crying. Okay. So God want to talk about teaching the children today. Okay. If you pay attention, you'll notice. So there are ways. Okay. Hear what I'm about to talk about now. So a lot of y'all out there are tricksters, right? You know, when you have a friend and you want something, you come in at them. You don't come like straightforward like me and state what you want. You be going around. You be going around town and down into the valley and up the mountain before you go to what you actually want from this friend. You have to do that with your children. If you want them to start acting like the adults that they're about to come, taking on more responsibility, you know they're not ready for it yet, but you know why you want them to get involved in like sweeping up the house, or so you get them a mini broom, the little ones, the 1 year olds, but let them, they're gonna have it as fun at first. So you have to kind of be gentle enough with them, but give them a task where it's just a little area, for example, or just one plate, a cup, and their spoon or whatever. Let them play some, but then there comes the time where you go and be like, yeah, the plate isn't clean. Give it back to them, let them do it again and again and again and again. So even though they're playing ha 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 ha, your mission is to clean this plate and this cup properly. If you do it properly the first time, you won't have to do it over and over. So eventually they'll start crying, but you're not supposed to be forcing them. It's training. Okay? So you're gonna have to kind of be clever about how you're doing it. Like, some people got better skills than some when it comes to this, because some people know how to make it look fun. And the child don't even know that they're being taught. It's like going dancing. You don't even know you're exercising, but that's your workout for the week. If you go out dancing and you actually dance, you're making your body get stronger. So you have to make it kind of fun, but you don't want to get too much into that mind frame with children, because then they'll end up kind of not taking things seriously. You want them to be able to have fun, but still know when to take things seriously. So you're going to have to teach yourself to find that balance. So before you can become a teacher, you have to become a student as the parent. Like, how do we do this parenting thing right? Because you don't need your children to be crying and feeling like they're treating them like a slave, or is abuse, or no, you don't want. That's not the environment that you're trying to cultivate. You're trying to cultivate the environment where they know that I be having to do stuff, and you're small now, but you're gonna have to do stuff because I need your help. And you need to learn how to do things to take care of your own self as well. Sometimes I'll help you, sometimes you'll help me, sometimes we handle our own things. Yeah, when you have a child and you try to do parenting well, you learn so much. If you're trying to get it right, you actually end up in school in your mind because you want to get it right. So we're not going to force the children to do these things. I see some parents training their children to like play piano well and trying to teach them to play, to swim. And it's like, I see what you're trying to do, but it's like borderline abuse. They're children at the end of the day. You want them to fall in love with whatever this thing is. You don't want them to end up hating it and hating you because they don't want to do it and you're still making them do it. They're doing it crying. They could do it frustrated, but if they get to crying, that's your moment to compromise. See, when you humble yourself and compromise with your children and their emotions and stuff, you're teaching them how to compromise with you. So they don't make your parenting life hard because you're teaching them empathy. You're showing them, I care about you. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was too much. We'll stop for now and then we'll try again later or tomorrow. Is that okay? You see? Treat them as though they are little people. Little mini adults. Let them know from their young they have a mind of their own. And you recognize that. They have emotions of their own and you respect that. They have desires of their own and you're going to try to work with that. But your job is to also let them know that sometimes in life, duty calls. We have to do things even though we don't really feel like it. So it's a balance. You're here to help them keep a balance. Okay? So they're not really like that. That's why they're crying. So God want to talk about raising children today. Okay. All right. Sweat. Hang on. So yeah, when you're raising your children, you have a lot of control over what quality of people you are raising them to be. They're going to be what you teach them. So if you teach them the right, they're going to grow up knowing the right. But if you teach them the wrong, you're going to be raising monsters. That's how they're going to treat other people. Because that's what they've learned as the norm. From their environment, from their elders. So let's see. So you need to find that balance between respecting your child's feelings and desires, and also letting them know that sometimes we don't have time to take a break. Because when you come home from work, you still have to cook their food, or else they're going to be hungry and hangry. Hungry and angry. But mommy and daddy still have to go. So it's kind of like that. Sometimes life is like that. Both of y'all could be at the sink, like, I don't really feel like washing these dishes. While they're there with their little mini plate and their mini cup and their mini fork, I don't really feel like washing these dishes. Yeah, that's like bonding for you and your child. Because they know what they're talking about. They're intelligent beings, even though they're small. They can understand your emotions and you can understand theirs, and y'all grow together. You know? So let's see what else. So we got pastor. So what's a pastor? It's like a man or woman of God, a representative of God on the earth. We got assassin, control. You see? So being that representation of God on the earth is going to assassinate this controlling vibe that's making the children cry. It's a delicate balance of give and take. That's the best way to parent a child. Okay? Spoiling your children is not a good way to raise a child, because that's the view that they end up growing up concerning the world around them. They're going to feel like the whole world is supposed to cater to them and their needs and their feelings. So yeah. So becoming that representation of God on earth, it helps you to kill off the controlling vibe. Okay? So that the children know that they have control over themselves and their emotions and what they do in life as well. It's just you're here as a guide. So there are times when you should not take no as an answer. There are times, but it's not every time. You can compromise with them too, if you want them to be compromising with you sometimes, or if you want life to compromise with you sometimes. Okay? So let's see, we got underground tunnel. So I'm gonna bring out the cards and then we'll interpret the rest of them, right? Underground tunnel, laws of the land. Then we have the school of life, nature's lessons. And we have lawyer. We got musician, male. We got hospital. They're getting paid to do it. Underground city and bank. It's all about the money. So y'all saw the laws of the land card come out. Look, war. So it's important for you to learn this balance when it comes to you and your child, because if you don't, that's where the laws of the land step in, and CPS and whatever the other child protective services are called all around the world with their underground tunnel. See? And they say an underground tunnel, you know. So it's like secret things and laws of the land. So if you don't learn how to master the art of give and take with your child, it's going to create an atmosphere of war between you and your child. It's going to create an atmosphere of disharmony with you and your child. And that will cause the neighbors concern, because if the neighbors hear them crying, they're going to start wondering, well, what are you doing to that child over there? And then that's when they're going to call in the laws of the land. So the underground tunnel to me is coming in like the telephone lines, that telephone connection. That's why it just came into me. Like I was seeing that in my mind's eye. It's like all the telephone connections. Because the child's crying. People are gonna call in what's supposed to be trustworthy authorities, which are not. Let's not forget that. They're gonna call in the authorities in hopes that they're doing something good and right by the child. Maybe instead of calling the authorities, we need to start checking on our neighbors with respectful language and peaceful energy. Before you assume something bad is happening, assume something that can be corrected is happening, because nobody taught us to be parents. We're all just trying to figure this shit out. So if we could work together as a neighborhood and take it back to it takes a village to raise a child, that would be nice. Because we know that the so-called authorities can't be trusted, because now you're taking this child out of the house where it's just dealing with a parent who has never learned how to be a, a grade A parent. They're just making some mistakes, some honest mistakes that with some teaching, with learning from someone else's life experience, they could better themselves and better their relationship with their children. You're going to take them out of this environment and put them in the system where they're going to be sent to somewhere where they're not going to be treated with love and care, because it's not their children. Whoever the foster parents are that they end up with, they're not going to care for that child the way that this mother cared for the child or the father. They're not the greatest parent, but they're trying to be. So if you could be neighborly, instead of calling CPS, and actually just take a walk over to their apartment, knock on their door nice and soft, not loud, like it's an emergency. Assume that they just need assistance. Be your brother or sister's keeper. Okay? Let's stop getting the government involved in everything, because we are not safe in their hands. Let's remember how to be neighborly again. It takes a village to raise a child, because this neighbor has that, it had that experience, so they could teach me about that. This neighbor had that experience with their child, so they could teach me about that. That neighbor had that experience with their child, so they could teach me about that. And we can all bring our collective knowledge together. You even have like little 30-minute sessions once every so often, learning from each other and our child raising experiences. Seriously, this is how we need to start to program our brains and our lives and make it reality. All we have is each other and our God. The government can't be trusted. Please consider that. Before you call CPS, just knock gently on your neighbor's door to find out if there's anything that you can do to help. Don't just jump on the phone and call CPS anymore. Learn how to be neighborly. Let them know that you know that we haven't had anybody to teach us how to be parents. Isn't it funny how we just have children and it's like we're expected to be experts, but it doesn't work like that. It takes a lot of skill, it takes a lot of time to learn. Let them know you got whatever year old. Is there anything I can do to help? And then maybe they'll start to share with you what the issue is between them and their child. And then you most likely will have the answer to help them. And then the child won't be crying like that anymore. And they'll have a happier relationship. And if she or he is a good parent or good mother, good person, they'll feel indebted to you. And that's like the start of growing respect among neighbors. You don't have to be best friends, but just a hello. You don't have to go to each other's houses or anything like that. And if y'all want to, if y'all get that good, whatever group y'all come up with, you could set it in a cafe. 3, 4, 5 of y'all go to the cafe every once a month or whatever and talk children and child raising. You never know what could come out of that. Okay? Take your children on play dates where they think it's a play date, but you're getting to observe how each other interact with their child. We're learning from each other. Community spirit. Like I said, you don't have to go to each other's houses because we're not perfect. All of us got our own flaws outside of that. We're still monsters, many of us. We're trying not to be monsters anymore. So you don't have to get that close to make anybody know your secrets or anything like that. Like I said, you don't meet up at each other's house. Surely you got enough for a coffee. Or go to a park, that's free. Take some sandwiches and drinks. Everybody brings sandwiches and whatever for their children and let them play together. Practice conflict resolution if need be. Learn from each other. Speak to each other with kindness and respect so that y'all can grow. Because there's nobody to teach us how to be great parents. We have to learn that. Nature's lessons. And putting them in the system is definitely not the right answer. It has not worked. And it's only getting worse. Maybe once upon a time it used to be okay, but now these people are just vile. Imagine you're in a group home and you're being sexually assaulted by the people that work there. It's time to stop calling a CPS and be a good neighbor. Because we monsters, but we ain't that monsterish. Many of us are not that monsterish. Now that we know what the system really is about, nah. We're not doing that. So stop calling child protective services for your neighbor when you hear the child crying, and go and knock gently and see if you can offer any assistance to your neighbor with their parenting skills. Okay? So that's what God want to talk about today. If you pay attention, you'll notice. It's not every child that's out there crying is in danger. Sometimes the parent just don't have the skills. They need to learn. Okay? So yeah, so the laws of the land. It's either we can work with the laws of the land or we can work with the school of life and nature's lessons. I say we go nature's way. We got lawyer. So the next card in, we had lawyer. So what's lawyer? It's like talking. Defense. Okay, let's see. So communication, defensive communication or investigation. Getting to the bottom of the matter. Then we got musician female, musician male, sorry. So musician talks, or music talks about harmony. A musician makes harmony with the other musicians or the other players of instruments, right? And male energy is the go-getter energy. So it's having conversations, getting to the bottom of the matter to create harmony. That's how you do it. That's how you go get it. Yeah, so knock on your neighbor's door gently and find out if there's anything that you can do to help. Because nobody taught us to be parents. Every parent you see out there with a child, most of them didn't have anybody to help them. Most of them don't have anybody to teach them how to understand these little people. We just been having children all willy-nilly. And then we allow ourselves to believe that they're not intelligent. They very much are intelligent. They're not intelligent like us, but they're intelligent enough to get on the path to become intelligent like us. And if you're not sure how intelligent your child is, test them a little bit sometimes. That's interaction. You know? Yeah. So let's see. So yeah, that's how we heal. Hospital. That's how we heal. Okay? Because they're getting paid for their underground city, underground tunnel, underground city. They're getting paid by selling our children after the highest bidder. This is the Child Protective Services, supposed to be protecting our children. These are the ones that are selling off our children to the highest bidder. These are the ones that are trafficking our children because they have the biggest resource. You know how many children are in the system? Let's be honest about the kind of environment that we live in. The schools, the Child Protective Services, even the fucking church. Everybody want to make that money. So it's up to us to make sure that our children are safe. So it's either we gonna go with the laws of the land and put the children in more danger, or we gonna figure this shit out ourselves and let nature teach us. Try to be good neighbors. And remember, when you try to do something good, they always send in somebody bad to try and corrupt the good vibes that y'all got going. So always pay attention to who is the saboteur in the group. They're getting paid to sabotage any good connections that we form with each other. There is always going to be a Judas. The system is going to always try to send in a Judas to break up our natural vibration. We need to stop losing friendships that are not worthy of losing because of somebody else's lies and somebody else's manipulation. The system is going to pay the Judas good money to come in and break up whatever good vibe y'all are trying to build to help yourselves. Because they're wicked like that. So remember that. Anytime you're doing something good, watch out for the Judas. The betrayer. Watch out for the betrayer. Watch out for the saboteur. they're always going to send in a saboteur. Always. Locate and eliminate. And y'all better get into reading your cards too. So if you got a group, we don't even have to depend on a long thing. If you got a group, you make a handy dandy deck like my personal deck of players, and you ask your God to show you who is the saboteur. Flick, 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 flick. Their name pop out. They got to go. And you don't even have to give an explanation because they know what they're doing. It's time for us to use our power and stop playing about our life, our safety, our future, our children. Because as long as you're accessing your own Akashic records for your own benefit, God is going to answer you. Unless God wants you to walk a different path to find the answer. Get your handy dandy deck. Everybody have to agree. If you're going to be a part of this group, your name is going to have to go on in this deck. Because we not depend on the fuckery. Yeah, it's time for us to use our gifts. See the power of God up in full effect, bruv. Seriously, just bypass all the investigation and all the bullshit and all the time. Go straight to your deck, find out who it is, and kick them out, bruv. And then pay attention to anybody else coming to join you all. And pay attention to if they try and get to somebody else that's in the group still. Because some people have a price. We're here to build. We're not here to rip each other down anymore. So if you don't want to build, you can go. And stay prayed up as a group. Even if you serve different gods, have a universal prayer. Establish a universal prayer of protection or whatever you do. Focus on your commonalities. Don't focus on your differences. Because we're all people at the end of the day. And we're all brothers and sisters at the end of the day. There's only one creator. We are family. So who don't want to act like family, they got to go. So have your handy dandy deck. Put everybody's name on a card in the deck. And when you find something is strange, call a meeting. Clear the air. Ask God to block anybody trying to interfere with the reading or the investigation. And off you go, checking to see whose name is going to fall out. Everybody going to see it because everybody's at the meeting. Let's see who is the saboteur around here, because something strange around here. Playing with your children? You're trying to just create a little group to raise your children, and you want to come in and be a fucking devil? Time to find out who you are. Come on, let's see. Ah, it's you. You pick up the card, you show every fucking body. Don't even ask no question. Leave. No need for no discussion. Leave. You and your child or children, if they're even your children at all, it's probably just actors and actresses that Babylon gave them to come in so that they could fit in, to try and break up the good vibe that you're trying to build with your neighbors and their children. Because nobody's teaching us. We have to teach ourselves. We're trying to help ourselves, and they want to send in fucking devils to try and fuck up our shit. It's time that we stop subjecting ourselves to the abuse of the government. You got magical gifts. Use them properly. Use them for the right things. But make sure you clear the air before you do any readings, because you got powerful magicians out there who may want to corrupt your findings. So work with God and God only. And clear the air. Ask God to clear the air before you do any reading, because this is too serious to get wrong. Make sure you pray a prayer for God to keep the airways clean of other interference. So whoever name fall out, you know God not lie to you. You see how that accelerated our forward movement? That person get one time to fuck up in your group. You call a meeting and find the saboteur and kick that motherfucker out. It's time that they stop abusing us. So let's see what else. So we got war. So they're getting paid to do their underground city, which is where they take our children out of our homes, just because we're not the best parents, as if they fucking taught us how to be good parents. Okay? They deliberately don't teach us how to be good parents so that we could be bad parents, so that they could come and take our children, so that they can sell our children or sexually abuse our children or pimp out our children and shit like that, because they're getting paid to do it. So we got, it's a war. So we got converse, psychological manipulation, because they want to create harmony through psychological manipulation. So they're already at war with the people, and they're going to come in with whatever words, okay, that's meant for psychological manipulation, but they're trying to get in good with you, harmonize with you. That's what the music is about. But really and truly, they're coming to bring you drama, dark magic, because this is the woman card, so that's feminine energy, so that's receptive energy. They're coming to sabotage what you're building. You got the Ministry of Health. I don't even have a Ministry of like Child Services card, but this is the government anyway. So this is like the closest card that God can use in this deck to talk about the fact that it's government and it's the health of the children, health of parenting, child raising. Okay? That's what we're talking about in this reading. Government representative or agent freelance. See, I just tell you, they're going to send in someone to break up your group. They're always going to send in a saboteur. They're always going to try to get, anytime you're trying to build anything good in your community, the government is always going to try to send in someone to sabotage your group. Make your deck. Anybody joining your group, their name must go in the deck. And you speak to God only when you're using your deck. And you ask God to clear the air of any interference when you're doing the check to see who the Judas is, because we didn't come here to play. I'm not powerful like this with my cards because of my own self. I'm powerful like this because God powers me. You got it too. Use it. You got the power too. Use it. Let's stop playing with these people, because it's a war. It's a war for our minds. It's a war for our happiness. It's a war for our community, our camaraderie, our fellowship. It's a war for our future, our fate, our children. Your deck will be a weapon. use it. Just write their names on the cards. And that's all. When you need to use it, you call on God. You call a meeting so everybody can be there and see what happens. See whose name fall out. And if it's 2 names, God didn't make a mistake. It's 2 saboteurs. If it's 3 names, it's not a mistake. There's 3 of them. Kick them out. And if it's all of them, it's all of them. God didn't make a mistake. You were the only loyal one there. All the rest of them were faking it. These are the times that we're in. So not every crying child next door is in danger. Some of the parents just need a helping hand. And you know, with life today, they have to deal with work. They have to deal with unfaithful boyfriend or girlfriend. That in itself could make you be a horrible parent, a neglectful parent. Because now you're heartbroken. You have to go to work. You have to raise your child. You have to get them to school on time. You have to clean them up. You have to be neighborly. Be honest. Let's separate the Antichrist from the God people. For the sake of our sanity, for the sake of our peace, for the sake of our children, for the sake of our future. You got tools to keep these wicked people out, use them. We only trying to get it right. Nobody taught us how. We're trying to teach ourselves now. Because each child is unique anyway. It's not a one size fits all. But what we need is a support system. Some people need it more than others. Let's look out for one another. Stop calling in these fucking criminal people that's calling themselves government. They're not government, they're criminals. We are the government. We the people are the government. They're pretending to be government. They don't govern us, they abuse us. They do not govern us, they abuse us. Am I lying? Just look around. I rest my face. So, God wanted to talk about the babies today. Yeah, about child protective services. They do everything but protect the children. Actually, fact is stranger than fiction. They do everything but protect the bumbleclad children. I heard them say that, you know, the school pictures that we take, that's one of the catalogs that they use to sell their children. Children come up missing because they use our school pictures as a fucking catalog for the predators, the child predators. They're scrolling through the catalog like you're looking to buy bumbleclad furniture. That's how they're doing it with our children's photos. Ooh, I want this one. That's the reality. Sold to the highest bidder. Next minute, your child come up missing. You never see your child again. And you don't know that that's the bullshit that's going on behind the scenes. And who pays for that? Do you see anybody being held accountable for these Epstein files? They're doing this shit in our face. Like, what the fuck y'all gonna do about it? Y'all can't do shit. Nobody from the Epstein files is being held accountable for these crimes against children. And y'all can't do shit about it. That's what the government is saying. The government saying to their little minions, watch this. We're gonna release the Epstein files, right? And then we ain't gonna do nothing about it. Let's see how they react to that. Don't worry. We not gonna come at y'all with no guns and no bombs and no poisons and no marches. And what we're gonna do is take care of each other and ourselves. And we're gonna try and keep out the saboteurs that you're gonna send in. And we're gonna stay prayed up so God's going to protect us. That's what we're gonna do about it. We're gonna stop participating as much as we used to in your system because we realize we are not safe in your system. That's what we're gonna do about it. And we're gonna do it with a smile on our face and joy in our heart and a song of praise to our God. That's what we're gonna do about it. You expected us to come out in rage with our guns and our bombs and our bats and our pots and our pans and make a whole but ain't nobody got time for that. Go suck your mother, government. Matter of fact, go suck each other. Just have one big bumbleclot orgy and go suck each other wrinkled up, stinking balls and dirty pussy. Yay. You go do that. That's what we gonna do. We gonna handle our own business. And we gonna try our best to come up with methods and ways to keep your saboteurs out of it. We're not gonna fight with you. We're gonna take care of us. And we're gonna stay prayed up. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. All the people in the house say woo woo. Yeah. Rasta people in the house say woo woo. Yeah. Buddha people in the house say woo woo. Yeah. Krishna people in the house say woo woo. Yeah. Jesus people in the house say woo woo. Yeah. Represent for your God like me. That's what we gonna do, dirty government. We just gonna leave your ass out there. As much as we can avoid dealing with you, that's what we're going to do. Ah, government representative and agent freelance. Oh, y'all, stay in hell. You're not allowed to sit with us, God people. Can the real children of Israel stand up? Yeah. Yeah. That's what we gonna do. We going home. Where is home? Our right state of mind. We gonna remember whose we are. Government. That's what we gonna do. So you don't have to hold none of your little minions accountable. You're not hurting our feelings because we know somebody that's going to hold them accountable. Because there are laws of the land and there are laws of the universe. Did you tell your minions that they can escape the laws of the land, but they can never escape the laws of the universe? Did you tell them that? Oh, what a sad day when they find out the hard way. Ah, if only we could get to see it. Maybe God will give us a reading and we'll get to hear about it, my group. What are you saying? We hope to be able to read about it one day. Yeah. They're gonna escape the laws of the land, but they will not escape the laws of the universe. Surprise! Woo! Until next time, lovelies, let's go and try to get ourselves together. Okay? We're gonna mind our business. We're gonna praise our God. We're gonna take care of ourselves and those who are in our care as best that we can. We're gonna pray for what? what we don't have, and God's gonna send it to us at the right time. God gonna send us the right people at the right time. Anything that we know we need, you ask your God, and your God gonna provide it if you really need it. And pay attention, because maybe it don't show up in the form that you thought it would show up in. Okay? Let's drop all that racism shit. Okay? And anything else that separates us and has the potential to make us miss our blessing. Okay? So somebody was telling a story about there was this person who, they say, the story goes something like this. There was like a natural disaster, and the person was trapped. I think it was like on the house roof or something. And the person, there was water all around, right? So the person was praying to God, God, please save me from from basically this turmoil. And somebody came by in a boat, and the person told the person, oh, go on, it's okay, God is gonna save me. Okay, so they kept praying, and then somebody else came by in some other vehicle or something, maybe like a helicopter or something, and they told them, go ahead, my God is gonna save me. And then I think it's like 3 or 4 different times that somebody came by offering to help, and the person tell them, no, go ahead, God is gonna save me. And then the person started to argue with God, like, how come you're not saving me? And God was like, man, I sent you a boat, I sent you a helicopter, I sent you a this, I sent you a that, and you said no. So the moral of that story is, pay attention so you don't miss your blessing. Okay? Yeah. Recognize the God in each other. We are all made in the image and the likeness of God. No matter what color you are, no matter how much money you have or don't have. All the things that we pay attention to that separate us and make us feel like we're exalted over each other, we need to stop it. Because somebody may be broke today and they may be a trillionaire not too far from now. Don't miss your blessing. Okay? We smarter than that. We God people. We recognize the God in each other. This is the new world order. We are the new world order. Until next time, bye. We are the new world order.